Tell someone in the United States that you've got $2 million and they'll ask you if you just paid off your one-room studio in the Bay Area. Say the same thing here in Japan and the room goes quiet because you just declared yourself a top 1%. Same number, opposite reactions. And if you are into financial insights and cultural deep dives like this one, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So, what does it really take to jump Japan's top 1%? In the United States, the price of admission to the top 1% is about $5.8 million in net worth, according to the Knight Frank Wealth Report. In Japan, roughly 300 million yen, or $2 million. That's roughly 34% of the way compared to the US, and that is only 2.1% of the households. UBS Bank says the median wealth for adults in Japan is around $102,000. The top tier, about 19 times that. Compare this to the US, where it's closer to 46 times. High inheritance taxes, capital gains taxes, and 45% income tax selling keep fortunes in check. And all of this keeps Japan top 1% bar much lower than America's. This gap between the two countries can be explained by several factors. First, we have the post-war land reforms that broke up the traditional estates. Then, many years later, we had the 1990s crash and the subsequent decades of stagflation that made people love their savings accounts. Not speculation. They were completely over it after the 1990s. Your regular Japanese bank was not pushing for investment up until the NISA account came into play. And by then, it was way too late to catch up with the wealthiest. And it's not just the stock market. If you had the advice of top bankers who understood what it takes to become rich, you would have done what the wealthy did. You would have bought real estate when it was still very cheap, which is until a few years ago, thanks to very low interest rate and a completely depressed real estate market, and included all of your real estate investment into investment companies. And we should not forget the very lucrative and very long FX carryover trade. It really helped accelerate wealth accumulation, especially in the last 4 years, which explains in part why the number of households in the top 1% have increased by 11.3% since 2021, and their wealth has grown by a staggering 28.3% in the same time period. If you had networks of relationships acquired at top universities and the support of top tax accountants to legally reduce your tax bill, you start to understand where the gap comes from. And we should keep in mind the cultural aspect as well. Mottainai that says do not waste, and gaman that says endure, which is probably the one that played the biggest role. With few exceptions, building wealth is a long-term play in Japan, not a getting rich quicker than the other guy kind of approach. For example, a Tokyo fund manager would move his or her bonus into index funds or real estate, not in some kind of very fashionable purchase. And that's why Japan's 1% doesn't look or spend like America's. It may change in the future, but so far it is really discreet. Interrupting just for a second. If you've learned anything so far, please consider giving this video a like. That will make it available to many more people and also help us a lot. Thank you very much. Let's continue. For example, what is $2 million in Tokyo? That is a super cool 160 square meters condo in the heart of Shibuya. And if you get out of the city center, you are looking at a much larger detached house or apartment. And with property tax at 1.4% for a primary residence, this becomes actually quite cheap. And the health insurance system subsidizes medical costs in excess of the monthly out-of-pocket threshold, which is effectively capping medical bills and avoiding devastating consequences like you could see in America, for example. And even private school tuition is, for example, a third of what it would cost in Manhattan. So here, $2 million buys you peace of mind and a very comfortable life, not just bragging rights. Now, by comparison, let's bring those $2 million in downtown New York. If we look at real estate, that's just 68 square meters at best before you add the HOA fees. You add to that the property tax, the state tax, an incredible $2,000 a month for health insurance. That's a lot of money. And after school, chess club, the flight for the family, it adds up really, really fast. In the US, $2 million make you comfortable, that's for sure. But you still flinch when you need to go to the doctor because $2 million in wealth is not $2 million in your pocket. And the bills can add up really, really fast. So, why is Japan 1% spending so quietly? Ride the Tokyo Metro and the guy in jeans just next to you might be owning a billion yen portfolio. Executive queue at 7-Eleven for onigiri like everybody else. No valet, no tip jar. In the US, money talks. Luxury cars, rooftop cocktails, private club. Here in Japan, wealth whispers. Couples can spend 50,000 yen at a great kaiseki dinner. Then they will go home with the last train. You could buy a very beautiful antique in a Hush Ginza gallery, but you won't tell anybody. Even imported cars, and there are many here, are out only during the weekends and definitely not in your face. So, $2 million for sure buys you a ticket at the table, but it's not the right to brag on the rooftops. So who is better off, you might ask? If you want mansions and yachts and a lot of flashy things, America wins. But if you want safety, healthcare and late night karaoke without the stress, then Japan wins. Heads down. Here's the kicker. 2 million yen in Japan equals peace of mind. In the US, it often equals to pressure to keep up with the Jones. That's the hidden advantage of Japan's 1%. Less stress, more security. Rich isn't a global sticker price. It's your net worth divided by local expectations. Japan keeps the denominator small through taxes, culture, and the memories of the bubble burst. The US inflates it with bigger houses, flashier norms, and higher costs. $2 million is the finish line in one league and the starting one in the other. So which race would you rather run? If you found this video interesting, please give it a like and subscribe for more insights on personal finance and life in Japan. You can start by checking this one here. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, goodbye!